Hi there, I'm Jeremy Shirk with Nebraska Realty, and this is another Realtor Rambling moment for you. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about listing commissions. I've been hearing a lot of rumbling lately, especially from sellers, about why is the listing commission so expensive? Why should you get so much money for this? And I've been hearing a lot of competition talking about whether we should lower our listing commissions or not. So I just wanted to break down where that money goes and let you know what you're getting for your money. Now, the typical listing commission in Omaha is 6% of the listing price. Now, I know recently you're seeing a lot of people who are lowering this 6% to 5 or even 4%. But let me tell you, they are making that up somewhere else. So either watch and make sure you know what your BAC fees are, or check and see what their list of services include. They may be under marketing your house, which they can get away with right now because it was a seller's market, but we're slowing down quite a bit. They may be doing a little bit less to actively get you the best deal for your house. They may be making more in their broker's fees because you're allowed to add on to that. But really be careful. I always tell people it's like the difference between the price in a Ford or a Lexus, which is a bad example if you're a Ford person, but you get what you pay for. So just make sure you know what you're paying for and that you're okay with what you're getting. Now, we're going to be using a $200,000 house. That's a little bit less than what the average list price for an existing home is in Omaha. The average sale price is actually a little over $236,000 for a home in Omaha in 2019. But $200,000 gives us a nice even number. That's a $12,000 commission, 6% of the listing price. Now, I know you're saying $12,000 does seem like a lot of money, but let me explain where all that money goes. Also, while we're here, I want to take a quick point to refer you back to an earlier video I did on why you shouldn't sell your home for sale by owner. A lot of people were going for sale by owner, what we call FSBO, to try and save this $12,000, but in 2017, the average home sold by a real estate agent sold for 17% more than the home sold for sale by owner. So really, people were trying to save 6%, but they were really losing 11% in their value. I'll repost that video, or I'll do a new one with some updated statistics. But really know that the value of a real estate agent is that we can get you more money for your house than you can get for yourself. And so don't lose out on money because you think you're going to save this $12,000, because that's not really how it works. So stay tuned for that video. So where does all of that money go? So $12,000 right off the top in Omaha, if you list in the Omaha Area Board of Realtors Multiple Listing Service, OABR MLS, you agree to pay the buyer's broker a commission for the buyer's agent. Now, this was traditionally 2.4%. One of the areas where I see people trying to save when they go down to 5 or 4% on their listing commission is by trying to cut this commission rate. Brokers are letting some people do that now. Here at Nebraska Realty, we don't do that. Shout out to Andy Alloway for understanding how hard a buyer's agent works. The other thing is that you want maximum exposure of your home to get the most offers, to bring you the most money. And by cutting this commission rate down, it is less likely to entice buyer's agents to show a buyer your house. And 83% of the homes sold are sold by a buyer's agent. So if you cut out buyer's agents, you're cutting out 83% of the buying pool, and you are not going to have the same amount of competition on yours. So $4,800 comes right out of that right away. That leaves $7,200 for the listing broker. Notice I said listing broker, not listing agent, because in Nebraska, most real estate agents are real estate salespersons, and we have to hang our license with a broker. Now, the broker's job, Nebraska Realty is my broker. The broker's job is to make sure that we are complying with all of the Nebraska Real Estate Commission's rules, to monitor our contracts and our behavior, to make sure they are complying with all of the laws of the state of Nebraska and the rules from the Real Estate Commission. There's also an admin fee right here, and that goes to pay for all of the fabulous admins we have here. Shout out to the Nebraska Realty admins. They are the best, I think, in Omaha. But that goes to pay all the people who handle the paperwork, who keep the files for the Real Estate Commission current, who make sure that all of the paperwork is appropriately signed and initialed for your transaction. So that's another $1,540. The same is true on the buyer's side, except it's just a little bit less because your buyer's commission's less. So on the buy side, that's $1,060. So after all of those fees, the average listing agent's commission is $5,660, and for a buyer, that's $3,740. Now, that seems like a lot of money, and I get that that's a lot of money if you get that lump sum. But remember, real estate agents run their own business, and they work entirely on commission. So we need to look at how much does a realtor actually make, because that is all gross income. So if you average out the $5,660 and the $3,740, you come up with an average commission of $4,700. So we're going to use that number. Really quick, the average realtor, according to the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the average realtor in the United States has 12 transactions per year. I can tell you that's not typical. The top 20% of agents sell 80% of the homes, so this number is slightly skewed, but there's no good way to track that except to say number of agents, number of housing transactions. The average agent sells 12 transactions per year residentially. I can tell you I did just a little bit more than that last year, so that's another conversation to have with your realtor. How good are they? How experienced are they? Is this a full-time occupation, or is this just something they do on the side? So just make sure you know how qualified your agent is, because that's something else that should go into what you're paying your agent. So 4,700 times by 12, 56,400 a year. Sounds like a lot of money, right? Except that it's not. 56,400 a year is a gross income. Remember, agents run their own businesses, which means that there is nobody paying us paychecks, there's nobody paying our taxes, things like that. So out of that 56,400, we have all of our marketing expenses. A good realtor, if you're paying 6%, regardless of what your listing commission is, it is typical in the Omaha market for a listing agent to do all of your property marketing and pay for that. That includes photos, that includes running ads, that includes boosting Facebook and social media posts, that includes newspaper ads, video tours, drone footage, whatever you and your realtor decide is appropriate, because maximum marketing is what makes the realtor worth their value. And maximum marketing and negotiation abilities to get you the most exposure for the home, get you the most offers, get you the best offer negotiated out. We also have to pay our business expenses. So there's business marketing. How did you find the realtor? I have social media campaigns on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I have postcard mailers. I have different social media interviewing things, marketing, bus benches, all sorts of stuff. Fuel, I mean, we do a lot of driving around, driving back and forth to listings, driving back and forth to all of the buyer showings, multiply that by multiple clients. Professional fees. This is a big one. I believe my fees this year were almost $2,300. There's an Omaha Area Board of Realtors fee, and then there's a Nebraska Real Estate Commission fee to keep your license current. Plus, you have to pay any continuing education credits, CEs, that you have to take. Overhead expenses. There's office expenses, brokerage fees. I pay $175 for my office. There's ink, there's paper, all of that stuff that goes into running a business, postage, all sorts of things. So I just took a real quick look back at my taxes, and in 2018, my business expenses were $24,300 that I wrote off in money that I reinvested back into the business, which really means that I made $32,100 if that were the same this year. If I were an average agent, minusing my expenses, $32,100 a year. Now that seems like a lot, but at 40 hours a week, that's just over $15.43 an hour, which, if you think about it, for a professional with all the education and licensing and the trust that you put into us for your transactions and negotiations and handling all your contracts, that's really not a lot of money. So that's just some facts to keep things relative when you're looking at what your listing commission is and why your listing commission is so much. If you have any questions or you want to talk about your specific property, because I do things like graduated commission rates, and we can talk about specifics if you want a cheaper commission rate, what things we're going to cover and cut out. The important part about your listing commission is that, one, you understand that that doesn't all go to the listing agent. There are several other things that have to be paid out of that, so there is a limit to how low we can go. And two, make sure you know, one, what you're paying for sure, because sometimes they sneak the fees in other places, and two, make sure you understand what services your real estate agent is providing to you for those fees. I'm Jeremy Shirk with Nebraska Realty, and that was another Realtor Rambling Moment. I hope you found it helpful. Thanks so much.